Hi, I'm one of the developers of ORX, and today I want to talk about the patch that we recently uploaded to Steam. I will be talking about various game systems and mechanics that we updated, about some things that we plan to work on further, and just highlight some of the effort that took us to bring this patch to life. This isn't really a scripted session. This is more of me going around the things that I feel I would like to share, and it's generally targeted towards people that are really interested in the development cycle. This is not some very strict, very polished, how shall I say it, video. This is more of me, more of my thoughts on the development and what we achieved and what we have to correct for the game to be better and more polished. Yeah, so without further ado, I will begin. I will warn you that I will be, due to the nature of my thought process, I will be jumping around a lot of things, but I will try to keep things pretty concise and understandable. As always, English is my first language, but I will try to use it so people can understand. Basically, just quick info on this form on this window. We will be updating this precise view about the information about the faction, since we feel that this is we generally want to get rid of the text where it's too much text and put in icons and stuff that gives a more feeling approach to how you read the faction. So, for example, in this case, you will be seeing something like an example of card examples of what you will be playing with, not just like runes and power castles and warriors. Why have this text when you can have a card that gives this description? So this is like our general understanding of this window, what we want to do with it. Currently, we like the difficulty system that we implemented. We took inspiration from classic Diablo 2, where you have normal, nightmare, and hell. We just have a fourth difficulty. I decided to add the fourth difficulty as a sort of a impossible difficulty that we will test ourselves and see if the players come up with crazy strategies that test them to the maximum limits, like break the game, treat the game as a sandbox, break it, pass the difficulty in any way possible. I won't be spoiling what each difficulty, how each difficulty affects the match. So, if you play it, you will find out what exactly. But the normal one it has the normal rules. Also, I will be playing through the Rune Guardians, since Rune Guardians are the faction that we updated the most. Other factions are pretty poorly balanced in relation to the current difficulty of the game, current game rules that we implemented. So let's get to them. So the first thing you will see in this window is we reworked the way the global map works. Now regions are all connected into chunks. We felt that with every region, previously we felt that with every region having their distinct chunk, there would be too much bloat in the player walking over a region, and the campaign would just take too long. You would pretty much get exhausted. We looked how players play the game, and we found out that generally players get exhausted around the first, second act, and just drop around the second act, and sometimes even begin the campaign anew just to play through the first act, because there was too much bloat and too much repetition in what you did. So now we made these regions into chunks, and chunks generate randomly. So there will be a degree of randomness in which way chunks connect to each other and generate over here. But there are some patterns, like for example this region of 4 over here. Almost always this region will be consistent out of 4 tiles, because this is a special region, because there isn't a divisible by 3 amount of chunks in this act. So we will be probably adjusting the way this intro works, because currently I feel that it might be a bit too overwhelming for a new player. Like if I, for example, press here and read about these rewards, I would probably like to play against the orcs first and test out my skills and get some rewards after I beat some orcs, not upfront. But we will, as I said, we will be working on this. We feel that generally this flow is better than with what we have, and we will work on updating it. So I will have to, my goal here is I have to choose a region that I have 4 moves. I have to choose a region, and each time I choose a region where I move, I waste a move. After I waste my 4 moves, I have to go to the boss. So this is the basic rule of the strategy map now. So I think that I would like to fight... Oh, also, now we start with a very bare bones deck, because we feel that starting with a bare bones deck and then sticking cards on top makes you specialize harder, and we wanted players to specialize, to have the deck specialized on some aspect of the faction. So for example, the Rune Guardians faction now has 3 specializations, and we will be talking about them once we meet these cards. So I think that I think this is a good region to start, because I will have a easy mission, I'll have a medium mission, I have a difficulty mission straight connected to me. So if I feel strong, I will be able to go to the difficult mission. If I won't, I will finish the easy mission, then the medium mission, and try another easy mission, or even pick up another free reward. So without further ado, let's get on to it. Okay, so this is our we reworked over the way we give out these rewards. Now we can give upgrades straight in the reward menu. So for example, if I pick this card and pick a card out of these, what I'm gonna pick for these cards, this card is generally the deck's strength stuff is related to warriors or castles. So if I want to create a big castle and buff it to oblivion, or not to oblivion, buff it to the moon, to eternity, I don't know, and buff it extremely, I would like to take these cards. If I want to play a debuff dot deck, I would like to take something like this. This increases damage from negative effects. The more negative effects you stack on an enemy, the more damage I will deal from this instance wherever I stick this card onto. This card generally prefers me having lots of small castles, and this thing generally stacks with the idea that you have lots of small castles that each does their own debuff. So these 2 cards are sort of out of the same paradigm, while this is out of the paradigm of the huge castle. I'll pick this for now, and let's see what we have here. I think I will go with the ability haste. I like more attack speed. It stacks with the idea of more dots and stacking poison and other stuff. And now you see that in the upgrade I will be able to upgrade this card straight away. So previously I would not be able to upgrade the card that I just picked. Now I can straight upgrade this card straight away. But I think, yeah, okay, I'll upgrade it just for the sake of it. So now I will be heading to, I have a choice, so I'll probably go to the easy mission. Plus the missions now, the chunk with the regions in it now has the mission and the reward. So they have mission rewards, and they have sort of the node that you unlock. So over here we'll be unlocking resting camp. Over here we'll be unlocking a mystery event. Over here we'll be unlocking crown shop. For the players that have played previously, they know that previously we had a lot of more mystery events. Now they're like really limited. You get around 4 over the campaign, and we feel that this will allow us to rework mystery events so they can give something really cool, really strong. Previously we had too much of them, and they had to give some meh rewards. Now we can give strong rewards in mystery events, and we will be working towards that. Okay, let's go. Okay, so currently our paradigm is that we removed elemental orcs from the game, and at this moment all orcs are neutral. So you don't get bonuses by attacking, like using wind against water orcs. We feel that elemental system has to be like simplified, but simplified in a correct way, so it stacks with the other game and does not add bloat. As I said, this patch is really about removing bloat, removing complex stuff, making them from one point simpler, from the other point letting us create more content in the in the system that we use. So for example, these archetypes, like the debuff archetype of the Rune Guardians, is our way of a good way to use additional content into like the mechanics that we have. Like we had poison already, we had chain hit statuses, we had slow, and now we reintegrated them to give us combos so the player can build combos. This is our way of looking at the game and feeling, yeah, this is a good way of making complexity. And elements in the previous form were not a really cool way of doing complexity. We will be reworking them in some way, but we will see. So let's get on to it. And yeah, as I said, every mission will now have villages. Previously we had missions without villages, but now we will know all the missions will have villages, and villages are an integral part of the game. There will be some moments when I will be playing, maybe talking less, because there are moments when I want to focus on the gameplay and there's not really a lot to say. Also, I'm not a streamer, so you get it. But currently you're just seeing that I am using my limited deck to build a limited defense, get some limited economy, stack the this card on top of the castles. Also, over here you'll see a preview of our new mechanic. Castles now, a preview of two mechanics. Castles now take time to awake. So every castle now has time that it needs. Oh, 3 mechanics. Every castle needs some time to be awoke when it sees orcs. So this tower in this line of sight it sees these enemies, so it's trying to wake up, because by default castles are sleeping. So when they kill these enemies, they will go to sleep, and when new enemies come, they will have to awake again. This is our way of working with. We previously had this mechanic with structure integrity that punished building big castles, but that was not a very good realization of. That was not a very good way to limit the player in building huge castles, because currently that goes against the idea of, like, yeah, you're this builder and we punish you for building huge castles. That's bad. So now, but we needed some mechanics, some drawbacks on huge castles, because huge castles gave too much exponential growth, too much exponential power to the player without really any drawbacks. So our current idea of the drawback is that yeah, like in this example, this castle is shooting and this one is still sleeping. So our current understanding of this is that every part of every wall like adds a little bit of a timer to all the castle before it wakes up. So these walls, connector walls, parallel wall, bastions, side walls, yeah, like diagonal walls, yeah. They all will add a bit of time. So you can stack a very big castle and it will have a long time before it wakes up. So you will probably need some units to tank for the castle before it can wake up and start firing, or you will use some special cards that increase the rate at which the castle wakes up. Yeah, kind of like that. So another mechanic that you see over here is that when we unforested this area, we spawned some orcs. This is the idea that came to us. I don't know why we didn't do this earlier. This is the idea that came to us by playing the Abyllions. Basically, the Abyllions map punishes you for expanding. You have to expand carefully, and yeah, so now this idea is present. So in us also, but we don't know where the zombies orcs are. They're in the forests. So because we can clear the forests with ease, now you will be now you have a sort of not a drawback, but like you have some push. When you shove, you get some pushback from the orcs. Like, you can't go expanding unpunished. You have to think about how you expand, because some buildings are more fragile. Some buildings will spawn more orcs. For example, like if I go over here and start building this farm over here, these orcs will start to punish my farm. Currently I'm out healing them, but if I were to build somewhere like over here, and if it was a more powerful wave, more powerful part of the act, more difficult mission, further, more later act, the orcs would be more powerful and they would break this village. Also, what we implemented is that orcs now, when they destroy buildings, they spawn additional friends from there. This is also inspired by their billions, and this is all brought so the player is more alert more conscious about where he expands. So there's more gameplay, more interaction with the map. The map feels more fluid, that it's more alive. Something's happening on the map when you build. It reacts to your actions. So yeah, over here we have a new wave. It's going to attack us. Over here another mechanic. So you see that we tried to give. Let me see. Is it? Oh no, you don't see it over here, but you can see the status effects, the speed up status effects. This is basically, if you check, yeah, these guys, when they when they saw that you're hitting one of their friends, they speed up and rush towards you. But they have a pretty low basic speed, but they will rush towards you when they speed up. So this is the idea, that we want to have every orcs unit have some kind of quirk, that when we stack these quirks one on top of the other, it just makes the enemy more, how shall I say it? The enemy feels more that it kind of can adapt to you and you can adapt to him. This will work better in tandem with our new mechanic that we are working on right now, is prioritization. So basically there will be certain types of orcs, like grunts, like normal, elite and boss types of orcs, or maybe it will be melee, ranged and flying types. There will be some sort of tags that will be put onto orcs, and certain towers, buildings, warriors will have a priority who they want to attack first. And this is probably long overdue. We should have implemented this earlier, but we really felt that it could break some systems, break some stuff. Also, it could be costly in terms of optimization, and we get like enough. I wouldn't say it hate, because I don't like people haven't experienced hate. Okay, never mind. This isn't really hate, just players do push back when how shall I say it? Players do push back when we implement some changes that are kind of maybe opaque. So not all things can be really. It can be hard. Maybe it can be hard to understand why we do some things, but we have an intention to do things better and make the game systems work together. So yeah, something like that. Okay, let me get back to the game. Also, another example over here. You see that, yeah, these orcs, because I put this rune onto them. Now these orcs are getting debuffed. So if I had another building with, for example, that would knock back orcs, stun them, slow them, or poison them, etc., etc., it would result in more damage to these guys. Also, I would like to highlight another mechanic that we have here, but it will probably come. We'll probably interact with it a bit later when we get more difficult orcs, because currently they aren't breaking anything, and this also speaks to another thing that we changed in the game. We really made the beginning of the game easier. We tried to have the game really accessible in the beginning. Oh yeah, by the way, this is probably, yeah, this will be an example where they're going to break the farm and some new guys are going to spawn for it. Yeah, there are new guys that spawned for it. So there isn't a lot of them, But when you get through the missions, get to later difficulties, the orcs will try to overwhelm you if you don't pay attention to where you build. So building and defending your stuff is really relevant. Also, you see that this farm is not going to give me gold now. This counter is not counting down. So this will work for other buildings such as aura buildings. Like if I build a blacksmith over here, that gives me a bonus buff and orcs break it. The blacksmith is not giving him buff anymore. So you should really watch out where you build now. This is... we really wanted to work on making the map more interactable. And this is like one of the ways we're going to do it. Okay, I should be really focused on playing now. If I don't beat this segment, I'll probably just press a cheat code to auto-win, but I would really like to win it by myself. But I probably spent too much time talking. There's a chance that we will win. Yeah, I think we win. Yeah, we won. Okay. So now, also another thing we did, because we reduced the amount of steps you take in the act. Like previously you could make like 10, 12. You could like... The whole act has around 25 nodes, and previously you could walk all over these nodes before you went to the boss and collect all the rewards, collect all the cards, and you would like really grow you strong, also bloat your deck, make it difficult for you to play cards with a bloated deck, etc. So that wasn't really good balance. This is one of the reasons why we decided to strip the deck to core components, and then it give you enough rewards but limited rewards. Over the time. So now every battle gives you 2 cards, but as you see there, like a lot less battles that you fight with, a lot less. The number of events when you get cards is less, but they're more valuable, so to say. Okay, all of these 3 cards are related to their warrior deck, except this is not. This is a warrior card. This buffs castles. This buffs the... It was used called Void Walker. Now it's... Let me see how do... Can I get to the encyclopedia from here? Never mind. This card buffs the castle buildings that buff other stuff. That did the ones that increased strength. They take the castle strength and increase the strength of all your kingdom. Like this thing. Prolongs the duration. Prolongs the duration of that buff. Yeah, those buffs are not static anymore. They turn on and turn off, and they can stack on top of each other if you have enough of these things. Currently, we have a bug related to this, but we are like in the process of fixing it. So I think because I'm not playing a warrior deck and do not intend to play a warrior deck, let me see what I have here. Yeah, probably this is also related to... so as you see, this thing is called indirect damage, indirect damage. Basically everything to do with indirect damage now. You have direct damage, it's generally affected by strength and dexterity, etc. You have indirect damage, it will be generally affected by either stacks, or in this case, for example, this is vitality, it will spikes reflect. This is all indirect damage. So basically we have now 2 ways of dealing damage, and these 2 waves have like... If you think about this in terms of Monster Train, if somebody played Monster Train, you can have a unit and you can stack damage on top of a unit. That would be direct damage. And you could also stack, if you play the blue deck with the guy that casts spells, you can stack something like magic vulnerability, something like that, and that would increase the power of your spells. So that would be an example, a good way to look at indirect damage in their case and in our case. So I think because I think I have enough money, I will take this. This will help me against archers. Back to that. I will take this, and now also what happened? Now no more hidden orcs buffs. we gonna try to put all the orcs buffs for the player to choose. So the player customizes the way orcs get stronger. Yes, they will get stronger in terms of new units will unlock. That will be related to the campaign, but what stats they get will be related to the player. This mechanic got inspired by, I recently played a StarCraft 2 mod, Kerrigan has gone rogue, or Kerrigan has gone roguelite, something like that. And it basically takes the StarCraft campaign and gives you an ability to choose buffs for your units. It had the Zerg campaign, and debuffs, debuffs for your units and buffs for the enemy. And I had this crazy campaign. I tried to play at the maximum difficulty, and in the end of the campaign I had something like 500 HP Terran Marines that dealt 20 damage every every 1/5 of a second, would burn my armor and would move like super fast. And yeah, so basically what I thought that was a pretty good way of making the orcs pretty different in every run you play. Maybe some decks would prioritize, in some certain scenarios you would like to have the orcs to have, for example, more HP, just raw HP but not damage. In some scenarios you would like them to regenerate because you don't really care. Like in a scenario, if I have a huge over damage on orcs, I would probably take this because this regeneration will not go into effect. If I one-shot an orcs, it doesn't have an ability to regenerate. This damage, for example, is relevant if I want to play some kind of, if I deal so much damage but I have really weak towers, for example, like they need like if I ignore armor, and so this vitality does not stack with defenses, this is probably a good idea also. Like if I have some sort of a lot of continuous damage, this thing is good because it doesn't really care. This continuous damage will be dealt. And if I have a lot of burst damage, this thing is good because they won't get to regenerate. And this is sort of a, like, I would say this is a middle of the pack general debuff that feels sort of meh, and I'll probably go with this one for now because it's pretty timid in relation to the other ones. And also, yeah, okay. So now, crown shops. Crown shops, this is a huge thing that we implemented. You can now sell all your cards, and it's for free, and you get money back. You get crowns back for selling cards. So we did this because we wanted the player to have more customization on his deck. If he felt that his deck is going into some wrong direction, so he can adjust during the run. If he gets some cards that he feels that he generally has no use for, he can take these cards and then sell them over here, and then reuse them to buy stuff. Over here I have a gold card for 50 crowns. Also, yeah, crown inflation. It used to cost 1, now costs 10, but you get 10 more. Everything. That's all like in real life. So this is a big buff for the deck that I'm trying to get. And let's see, maybe I can sell something. But this will give me what? Poison damage multiplier against slowed enemies. So to use this thing, I will need a poison instance, like poison tower, for example. And also I will need a slow instance. And I don't have either of that. But if I get this will give me a super multiplicative buff. Also, we reintroduced neutral cards. You can buy neutral cards over here. Every crown shop has one neutral card, and now they all are fragile, so you can buy them, use them. Generally they're used 4 times, and once you run after the charges, they're wasted. I haven't spoken about the cooldown system yet. I will do that when we get to the next battle. But currently I don't know what to buy, because it doesn't look like I need anything. This will generally help me in the earlier waves. I will take this. This will help me. And this is a general, overall good card, because it will delay orcs for some time. That will help me build up a little bit more. I'll take it. Okay, let's go to this mission. What we have here, new units. Boom Kite. This is our new approach to orcs, and sort of a poster child for the way that we view enemies now and the way we want their AI to act, and you will see it now. So let's get building. Yeah, I'll stick this straight away. Okay. I'm not talking about obvious stuff like we are using new maps. We have a lot of new map generations that we added, so it brings variety. Lots of more new layouts that have, some of them attack you from 2 sides, some attack you from 4 sides, some of them put you in a corner and have very good defendable location that is with one choke point. So over here I want to, yeah, I should, yeah, so here he spawned from the forest, and as you see he has the damage of 2000. He has an effective HP of around 500 and around 5-6 times that of the damage, but he does this damage only once. So he's going to drop his bomb and he's going to try to fly away, and because he can't fly away because he's staggered, he's not going to fly away. But he dropped his bomb with a lot of damage, and he also dropped a puddle over here that prevents this, because armor works. How does armor work? It's depletes before health does, regenerates at a certain pace when out of combat, and because he dropped a puddle over here, it won't regenerate for some time, and this makes the bomber a very pesky unit to play against. Generally, also the bomber, as you understand, if I had a very big castle over here, bombers would have no problem in rushing into my castle and attacking me. So that would sort of prompt me to try to put some defenses that the bombers will, not defenses, some other targets, decoys or anything that will the bomber be aggroed on top before he comes into contact with my big castle and damage it before the huge wave. Okay, let's speed this up a bit. Okay. So also, now, towers no longer buffs the whole castle. They lack the info over here about the amount of towers they have, but basically their idea is that if you have 3 levels of a tower, and currently you can upgrade any card by 3 tiers, yeah, like it has the first tier, this is the first tier, second tier and third tier. You can upgrade it twice. Towers will have, on the first tier, they will have put 1 into the castle. On the second tier we'll add 2, on the third tier we'll add 3. So this is our general rule for the towers at the time being, and we feel that it's pretty good, because previously you could just have 1 tower cast on a castle, and then we had this dilemma if we would want to give the tower a limited amount of life, limited amount of how shall I call it? Yeah, limited amount of charges to cast. But that felt wrong because your hand would deplete, and we generally want the player to play cards because the game is about playing cards and stacking everything on top of each other. So this is the reason why we generally, oops, oh, I am highlighting another system. So this is generally why we implemented the cooldown mechanic. So another time, once again, I have to talk about 2 systems. One of them is the cooldown mechanic. Now these cards will have a cooldown until they will return to your hand, and we generally like the way this is going, but it has a certain I wouldn't call it a problem. It has a certain interaction with when you have a little cards in your hand, and it's difficult to understand what is the limit of your cards in your hand. Because previously your hand would always be filled with cards, because it would be dependent on because new cards will always would try to come into your hand, but now also a lot of the cards are in cooldown, and also we reduce the starter deck. So now we have this situation where I have maximum 4 cards in my hand, but I have only 2 over here, and now I have 1, and now I have no cards like ready to play. Yeah, also the bomber one-shots the farmland. And this is our sort of a way to highlight that, yeah, they one-shot all my farmlands. So I will be leveling up my Razor Tower. So in the future I will be able to have this type of a castle with 2 towers. I will be able to put 1 tower onto this castle, and both will activate into Razor Towers. Oh, I really should be careful with this. Oops. Yeah, okay, that was fine. So yeah, the bombers, their behavior is basically that they try to attack you, then run back to the respawn, get a new bomb, and try to bomb you again. And while they're alone, it can be seen as like they're pretty easy to deal with because they're pretty fragile. Also, when you knock off their armor, they start getting staggered. Also, their speed decreases when they fly back. Basically, the bomber is the fighter planes from Command & Conquer Generals, where you had the Aurora bombers that would be really, really fast when they flew to the target, but would slow down when they run back and would be really fragile. So these bombers are basically Aurora bombers of the orcs. Okay. Also, yeah, so another mechanic, stashing. This is over here. I have amount of stash slots. So I already used 1. Let me get this card back. Yeah, so I have 3 stash slots at all times, and this amount can be increased, further increased. Let me fix this. This amount can be further increased. After you defeat the boss, I also have certain artifacts that increase this stat. Also have certain buildings that can increase this stat also. This stat allows you to hide cards that you don't want messing around your hand. Hide them on the field. You can also, there's also a way to use them. You can stick them right near orcs, and orcs will kill them. And for killing the card, they will put a curse in your hand. But effectively, you would get rid of the card for the battle. The card will return to you after you finish the mission, the battle, but it will be gone for the duration. So you have a certain way to reduce bloat. We added mechanics that help reduce bloat of your hand. If you come to a situation where like you don't need a certain bastion, you don't need a certain tower, just stick it to orcs, or stick it somewhere where there are no orcs. For example, I can put this road over here. Yeah, and put this road over here. Because let's say I don't need them for the duration of this mission, but I would still like to have them back if something happened, for some reason, if I needed them. So I stick them over here where the orcs won't reach them. To buy them back, I would need to pay 1 gold. The 1 gold is exactly the amount of gold that the card costs. So if I put a more costly card over there, for example, if I put, let's say I put this over here, this will cost me 6 gold to put back. If a very costly card like the Paladins for 90 gold, they will cost you 90 gold to get back. But it's the price you pay to remove the card from your current rotation, so it doesn't interfere with what you want to do with your deck. So let's get this. Yeah, I think this will be good. Yeah, okay. We're just gonna build a bit. I will be highlighting another mechanic right now. Yeah, also. Now, blank towers. This is our way to motivate the player that wants to build big castles to use other forms of walls. Because if you castles will generate blank towers if you build them like this. Generally, if there are too much connections to a tower, they will generate blank towers, and side towers will be normal. Like this is an arrow tower, this is a razor tower. So this is our way of motivating the player to, if he wants to build a big castle, make it out of various chunks, make it big. So it takes more area, not just this spaghetti thing. Okay, I will be just buffing. So yeah, as you see, these guys, they managed to bomb me, and these two will be getting away. They will be replenishing their bombs, as you see. Yeah, and now they're speeding up and they're going for a second go. Yeah. Also, one of the aspects of the big, how shall I say it? Currently I'm playing the archetype of indirect damage and debuffs and dots, but the big castle archetype will have cards that will be able to wake up these towers, these blank towers. So you will be able to have a huge castle that all towers are active, they all wake up really fast. But if you don't have specific cards to do that, you won't be, like, it will be a bit more difficult. So there's a bit more, how shall I say it, certain requirements. You're required to do certain things, get certain combos for the big castle to work. But it's not as punishing as previously when you just had structure integrity and it would punish you for anything that is 12 tiles larger. That was like really brutal, and you couldn't really do a lot of things about that. Yeah, we'll speed it up and complete the mission. Also, another thing that we can see over here, I'll just spoil it. Well, it's not spoiling, I just like highlight for now. It will come relevant in the future when we fight tank waves. Now, these orcs, like, we have his damage 63, but his base damage is 23 over here from his ability. Why is it 63? It's because we are now, the longer you take to defeat a wave, you will be building fatigue. This is our way to deal with the situation where you have some tank enemies come and they punch your castle for like a really long time, and you take a really long time, unintended amount of time to kill the orcs. And we feel that if you take this much time to kill the orcs, probably you're not really ready to kill them. Either you should have some really huge defenses, and orcs will kill themselves while hitting your defenses because they have reflection or have spikes or etc. Or you're just not ready, and we want to like tell you you're not ready, go try another mission. Yeah, so. Also, one thing that we can do, we haven't done this yet, we haven't hit a brick wall yet, but one of the things now you are able to do is you can leave any mission without penalties and just go try another mission if you feel that certain types of enemies are too hard for you. Okay, let's get our rewards. Demolition. Yeah, probably this. Yeah, I'll take probably this. This is another rune. Yeah, this is a rune to help generate gold for the debuff deck. Also, it gives knockback power, and knockback power is a debuff, so it will interact with, give bonus damage, interact with this card. Also, yeah, I don't really need defense ignore because indirect damage goes through defenses. This is nice, but I think I'll go with the defense. It will just give me a bit more power in the early stages of the game. Over here, oh yeah, this is an example. Because I'm playing the indirect damage deck, I don't really care about defense. Further in the game, most of the my damage will be done by poison or spikes or malediction, curses, etc. And they all go through defenses, so I wouldn't really care about defenses. This hits you hard when you play, for example, multi-strike big castle deck, or maybe ranged. We added a ranged unit to Rune Guardians. If you play that unit, it also uses multi-strike. It suffers from defense quite hard, but I don't really care. And this thing looks like it's not a lot. 5 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but this will stack, and this will be punishing if I stack too much of it. So this is generally for me more favorable for me right now. Okay. Now, this event got a bit of rework. Now we can just upgrade to random cards, get one more map moves, one of these things, additional one, or I can duplicate a card that I have. So if I had, for example, some really strong card over here that I would like to stack a lot of, I would duplicate it, but I don't have one now. So I will probably just upgrade to random cards. And I've upgraded the farm and the rune, and that's good for me. I like that. Okay, now I feel pretty strong. I think I will try to attempt this mission. Now we have, this is a new unit, ORX Tusk Rider. It is a unit that, it is a sort of a hybrid melee ranged unit that will charge into your units and will try to circle around them, run around them, and attack them. So basically his idea is that he will rush into battle as fast as possible and then try to disrupt your units and run around your castles, etc. Being sort of harder to hit. So yeah, I think I will be going for... I have 20 crowns. Do I have anything I can buy? Also, we can now revisit... Yeah, this is an example. We can now revisit crown shops. You can now revisit it, and it will not have the cards you already bought, but you can buy new cards. So, for example, if I felt that my deck, my combo that I'm building over here is not good enough for example, some part of the journal. For example, if I feel that I'm not ready for the next mission, I could, for example, pick a temporary card, like I could pick these guys for 10 and they will help me beat the next mission. And I think I'll actually do this because I will sell them later to remove them out of my deck. Yeah, I'll take them for now. And I think I'll remove the demo guild because I don't really need it. Yeah, okay. And let's get to the more difficult mission. Okay, so this is a large map. I have an upgrade vault here. I have 3 waves. Okay, let's get building. Let's get building. I appreciate the upgrade, the random upgrade that upgraded my farm. A bit more gold is nice. Also, you can see that we have more orcs spawned out of this forest. Generally, previously we spawned 2 orcs, now we spawned 4. So this highlights that the further more orcs, you spawn more orcs here, so they are more the further you get into the campaign, the more threatening the orc spawns, the more the chance that they get spawned out of these villages, out of the forest. Okay, so we do this. Yeah, that's good. Okay, my goal right now, because I understand that orcs will be funneling through here, I will be building my defenses over here. And let's see. Generally, I want to have a few castles over here with affliction runes. I will probably use this one. Should have this, the gold farming rune and the knockback rune, and over here I think I'm going to have, yeah, this is not a very good place to stick a farm into. I think I'll just place it somewhere like here and I'll build the road around, so I won't expose the farm to being basically the drawback of exposing your farm here is that you don't get gold when you stop the timer, and orcs will spawn their friends from here. It's not really relevant right now, but it gets really relevant the further you get on. So building these farms, for example, in front of a wave of Titan orcs or some behemoths or catapult orcs, you will get punished if you do that. Okay. So this is our basic defense. We have some spikes, and we're going to put some guys over here. So spikes will tank this. Spikes will tank, and the orbcasters will shoot their stuff. I took them mostly for the chain hit, because the chain hit will help me clear the large waves now. Yeah, another castle like this would be good. Yeah, so I want this. Then I want this like that here. Yeah, and we won't be upgrading them because we will sell them. So there's no reason to upgrade them. I probably will be upgrading the Razor Tower just for the stats. The stats could be useful. And the wave is coming. Yeah. So yeah, and basically they just kill themselves on the Razor Tower. Another thing we did, we removed, previously we had this system with archetypes that we have 3 rock, paper, scissors archetypes, and we removed all of that because we felt that this thing just breaks the... It's just too stupid, too dumb. It breaks the complexity of the game in an unfun way. You just have really dumb counters, like the aggro guys counter the defended guys counter the archer guys, and the archer guys counter the aggro guys. And that felt illogical because, for example, we have a razor tower and it has armor and it has spikes. So these guys would have armor piercing stuff to kill the tower, but spikes would punish the swarms really hard. A swarm would hit a spike tower and we'll all perish. And we had lots of trouble in balancing that, so we felt like, why are we even doing this to ourselves? Like, why do this if you can not do this? Also, as you see, because these towers are previous grade, I can upgrade them, and I will be upgraded them. Yeah, and we're just building defenses over here. I want to put these guys, yeah, around here. They, by the way, they gain a buff from all the neighborhood buff. They get a lot of dex for castle neighbors, and dex gives them more, more multi-strike, and multi-strike is really strong against unarmored targets because we removed the thing that made we made that so multi-strike basically can only work on unarmored targets, and armored targets don't interact with it. You basically deal flat damage. Multi-strike does not proc on armored targets. So yeah, like these guys clear the general Orcs warriors really good, and I will be using them for this. Exactly. I don't need this rune right now. I think I don't need these cards also, so I will be all stashing this, and we'll be focusing on just putting some farms over here, putting more warriors, putting castles, and on rotation. Yeah, so yeah, so this was really fortunate. I managed to clear the Orcs wave, but the Hog Riders, they do deal damage. So I think they managed to kill a few. Yeah, they managed to kill 4 of my Obcasters. So this was pretty good that I managed to clear them out before the wave came. Okay. Probably should have been building more, but I think we will hold. What troubles me is these demolisher guys. When they demolish, they leave a puddle that debuffs that. Yeah, also the guys got killed by the Orcs, what's his name? The commander. But I think the commander will kill himself onto the tower. Like, yeah, he's gonna kill himself onto the tower. Yeah, he got a lot of damage back, basically because you can see that the tower, it doesn't really deal a lot of damage. Like, it deals only 46 spike damage. Also plus 10 from spikes. But because the commander was debuffed by the rune, this rune of affliction, he got a lot of more. He got multiplicatively more damage from spikes. Yeah, I think we're okay. Yeah, more or less we're okay. Yeah, but yeah, as you see, all the warriors didn't survive the fight because they generally ran forward and got face tanked some of the damage and aggroed into the commander. I probably should have placed them a bit further, but I don't know, it's fine. There's another mechanic that we will discuss in the next mission when we use the warriors, and that is the veterancy mechanic. Okay, so these are cards for the warrior deck. This is a card for the big castle deck, and I'm not doing this right now, but I will take this card and I will sell it. And this is a card for my debuff deck, because this deals puddles, and puddles, as you can see, it shows puddle multiplier, and it shows damage, but it does not show any scaling. Basically, cards that don't have scaling, they probably have this some other way to scale through indirect damage modifiers, and it says on this card that it's related to indirect damage. Okay. Currently, I don't want to pick this artifact because in tests we saw that it bugs at a certain point, so I don't want to spoil my run right now. After we fix it, we will upload the hotfix. We should hotfix it pretty soon. None of these cards are generally good. This would probably be good, but currently it interacts in some really funky way with the debuff deck, and I don't want to ruin my experience, so I'll just pick this one. Yeah, I don't want this because actually I could. No, I don't want this. I think I'll pick this one because I don't really care about Orcs HP. They generally go down to debuffs. I plan to slow down Orcs and kill them with debuffs, and if they have 1000 HP or 2000 HP, it still will go down because I will be dealing millions of damage by the moment when my deck gets rolling. Okay, so I have 48. Yeah, I want to remove the Sniper Guild. I don't need it. Do I want this column? I don't have. Currently, I have the puddles. I have knockback. I have affliction. I have spikes. I don't have any poison or slow, so I think I'll skip this for now. I can buy it. No, actually, I'll save my crowns, and I'll be greedy. I'll save my crowns. Let's get this event. And yeah. Oh, this event should be reworked. Currently, it's asking me to remove a card from my deck, and it's going to give me, what's this going to give me? Yeah, it's going to give me nothing. This is an example of one of the events that we didn't really get to reworking, and we will be reworking it soon. So yeah. Okay, let's go. Okay. By the way, I think I will be going, I will stop at the boss. I've been online for an hour. I think we'll defeat the boss and I will be wrapping up because I've generally managed to talk about a lot of things. I will talk a bit about some of the things that we plan to do in the end. So yeah. So this is another example of the map. I will just use a cheat to show you the whole map. Currently in this difficulty, these villages will spawn over here, but on the higher difficulties, villages will spawn over here. So this is our approach to more funky map designs, experiment with map designs, because, well, our map designs are procedurally generated, but they have some certain influence on them. So we have certain things that this map will try to replicate every time. That is the general layout, but inside it will generate it whatever. Just following some rules, there always has to be a path towards the castle. So yeah, this is why I have this path, this path, this path, these paths generate, because I need to have a path to the castle. Okay, let's get going. Okay, I think I'll stick this over here for now. I will buy it back because I don't want it to interact with my deck so far. Yeah, so these guys are getting stronger. I will place this here. I want a curved road so I can move like this. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, the orcs are already punishing me. I need to rebuild this. Oh, by the way, this is an error. This should not be giving me currently. This should not be giving me additional cards, but yeah, fixable. Okay, so now I'll stick the farm over here. I generally want to have farms here and the roads just go around and have one one farm somewhere. I don't really care about it, but my gold, I want to have my gold generation in the back. Okay. So yeah, thank you. Cards. Okay, another straight one. Oh, oops. And I want to build a castle in this direction. Like this. Put one over here. So I can build this towards this vault. And I want to also capture this vault. Build some towers. Yeah, we'll be capturing this through castles and capturing this through roads, most probably. No, I don't. No, I don't like it. Yeah, I'll do this. Yeah, I want to build a farm over here probably. And over here I want to build another pair of castles. Yeah, that's for the farm. Now, I can build some warriors. I am tempted to do this because I will get lots of buffs for them. So I will do that. This thing. Yeah, the boss wants to spawn over here, I forgot. Okay, so yeah, the boss. I think I will need to put some units. Yeah, okay, there I aggroed onto him, that's fine. That's good. Yeah, we'll buff them. Okay. Because chain lightning, chain hits are also treated as indirect damage now, so by buffing them with the indirect damage rune, also the indirect damage from chain hit is now also more powerful. Another thing, so yeah, let me talk about this. Veterancy. Now these guys are veterans and they have tier 1 veterancy, veteran rank 1, so they get a bonus to stats. The warrior deck is all around veterancy and building huge roads and getting as much veterancy as you can onto your units. Currently the veterans bonuses are pretty straightforward, they're just stats. Maybe we will put some abilities, so for example basic guys have basic shots with chain hit, and some stronger guys maybe have some additional area effect, or maybe they have some certain spell that they cast once every 20 seconds or once every 10 seconds. Some more cooler effects for the veterancy. Also they will be changing their skins like every 2 ranks, like they change the skin on the 3rd rank and on the 5th rank. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I want to upgrade. Yeah, it actually reminded me of this card. I want to use it now. And I want to stick it somewhere like over here, so this castle can shoot in multiple directions. And I definitely want to buff it with indirect damage because it's like that's the whole its whole concept. This should be buffed with spikes. So yeah, I should be feeling myself pretty strong. Yeah, this castle should now. Yeah, these puddles will wreck any swarm units. So I probably have an answer to. I have an answer now to the swarm unit guys. I don't need these orb casters anymore. But I probably will actually keep them for some time, just because they use chain hit, and chain hit interacts with the this debuff system, because chain hit also acts as indirect damage. So yeah, it was actually a pretty okay choice then. Yeah, put it like this and upgrade my key alchemy tower card, and I would be good to go. This deck I'll probably be playing this deck further today and see how far I can get with it, because so far I got some pretty good cards. I don't have everything. I don't have poison yet, and poison is really required to take my damage to the next level, but probably, well, this is fine also. Okay, I want to hide these cards. I don't want to use them anymore. I want to have straight access to my. I want to have straight access to the castle card. Oh, I didn't manage to capture it in time. That's fine. So yeah, my puddles are like making really... I'm having good progress against all of these unit types. Okay, so basically this is the current state of the patch. I probably left out a lot of things, but this is generally what we're working with right now and the direction that we want to take. We do have some problems. One of the problems we have right now is the way that you can read, the way that card cooldown interacts with redrawing your hand. And we probably should, redrawing your hand will probably do something like decrease the cooldowns on cards by 25%, something like that. It will, something along the lines. So it will interact, the redraw mechanic will interact better with the cooldown mechanic. Also, it probably will be showing how many cards you have in your hand, so it will be like more transparent. We really want to get to work on sounds. Sounds have been an area that we have neglected for so long, and we need to work on that. Let's see what we got from here. This thing is for the warriors. This is I don't really want a rune because I have really a little space for runes, so I will probably, yeah, it doesn't matter which one I take. I'll probably take this one. I'll sell it. This is also an example why selling all these cards don't fit my archetype. I can take them, sell them, use them to buy correct cards further down the line. Any gold cap converted into damage. I don't really care about damage because this is direct damage. A tile vault. I will be able to draw more cards or draw more spells. I actually want to draw more spells. I will take this. And over here, yeah, stash slots. I can have more stash slots, not 3 but 4. Hand size, I'll probably go in with hand size. Hand size is generally currently the way to go, except if maybe you have some like this tier 3, this card, so you don't really need your hand size too large. You can play with starting gold. Some decks will probably love starting gold because it will probably give you an ability to place a few really powerful warriors onto the field straight away, and they will carry you through the beginning of the mission and snowball. So we try to design these things related to different scenarios that you could like take when you try to beat the campaign. I will take this one, and here I will now have 3 orcs cards. What I have dexterity, so I don't care about dexterity too much because I have spikes, and spikes punish anything that's shooting, so I'll probably take this, but this might bite me in the future because we decided to design some of the orcs in a more, I wouldn't say it more punishing way, but we decided that orcs need to be strong. So there will be some orcs that have really high range further down the line, and you will be warned about when they approach, and some mission you will be able to dodge the missions with long-range orcs, but the long-range orcs will get a huge buff from this card. So probably, yeah, okay, I'll take it anyways. I'll see what I can do with it. I think I'll play around it further because this card, the Alchemy Tower, has range 11, so I'm pretty good in terms of range. I think I'm okay, so I will be able to do this. We deal with them. I'm talking about the Trebuchet orcs. They are something in this patch. Strength, vitality. I don't think I want strength because strength buffs stuff related to armor shred and defense penetration, and currently some things I have are around spikes and defense, so this just doesn't feel good. This probably feels better. And I don't really care about defense, as I said. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, this is basically these cards will stack on top until the end of the game, and the end game orcs will be designed around what I want it to be, depending on what type of deck I'm building myself. This is the direction that we want to have with orcs cards right now. Sort of simpler, but more straightforward. Because previously orcs cards, they were used in a way that the orcs would play them at the start of the wave. He would play some cards but wouldn't play others. Yeah, this way is just more straightforward. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is about it. What we will be working next? Let's go to the menu. We will be working on next, of course, the Dune Reavers and the Boreal Nomads. They have to be updated. They will get their archetypes the same way that Rune Guardians got their archetypes of, yeah, this is an example, Swiftwake Guild. This is an example of a card that is synergistic with a big deck, with a big castle deck, sorry. Like this is an example, damage over time, duration. This is synergistic with debuffs stuff. And these crossroads, you see these crossroads have an end, they end over here. And this thing, this is like a splitter, so the roads don't end on this thing. So this thing is synergistic with warriors because you want to have warriors on a huge road, on a huge road, and then give buffs with this thing to this road, and then put things like this field kitchen that gives veteran ranks for each road segment, etc. So yeah, this is our three main types of warriors. They each have their veterancy, and the elite unit, the paladin, is previously called the Templar. So yeah, these are our new runes. The poisons, it works with the dot deck. Restoration, because it has scaling, it works with the big castle, obviously. Like this is a card this is a building that you place, and you can then place cards on top to get more indirect damage buffs. So yeah, this is basically want to take this approach to archetypes and spread it onto the Dune Reavers. For example, the Dune Reavers, currently we're working on a deck that is related purely on weapons, like weapon related deck. You can do stuff with weapons, and you have archetype that interacts basically with weapons. You have an archetype that will work around with gold. There will be, because the Dune Reavers have this bizarre economy and have an ability to gain lots of exponential gold, they will have an archetype that's related to basically using cheap units and hitting the enemy with gold. Yeah, we felt that we need to have a faction, an archetype that does like stuff like this. I won't be speaking about the third archetype, it's still under construction. The Boreal Nomads, the same way, they'll have an archetype that's related to the village, the way you build the village with the palisades, etc., and how it reflects damage, how it's hard to kill, and an archetype related to the Boreal. The Boreals, not in a way that they're not useful in the first archetype, but Boreals, because Boreals will be used in the archetype with the village. For example, there will be buffs for every time they shop, your village gets stronger, etc. So all these things will be synergistic, cards will be all useful, but some things will be prioritized over others. This is the same way as in the first deck. I managed to use the Orcasters in my dot deck because they have the ability to chain hit. I could have used the Spearmen because they have the ability to use spikes, and spikes a way to do indirect damage. The militia guys could have interacted with if I had some really powerful rune cards with strength that were fully upgraded. Some auras, they could have worked with a big castle, because these guys get a lot of strength from strength runes, and generally an archetype for the big castle. Yeah, so this is what our current plan, what we want to do, and this is the direction that we're taking the game so far. We will be, of course, reading bug reports. We have updated our form, and we'll probably have a better way of submitting bug reports with in the escape. We'll have more a better way of submitting bug reports, not through a Google thingy, but through an in client some way that it will screenshot and automatically send your logs if you crash to us, something along the lines. Okay, yeah, so thank you for your time, and on to ORX. See you.